Welcome to the Sci-Fi Center, the place to be, where comic books and wrestling collide magically. Movies, TV shows, and pop culture we share. Get ready to rock, we're here to take you there. From superheroes to aliens in outer space, we've got the latest news and reviews in our embrace. Turn on your screen, let the neon lights glow. We'll take you back to the 80s. Let's rock and roll. Sci-Fi Center, where the legends come alive. Get ready to geek out, let your imagination fly. We're diving into the past with a touch of modern flair. Sci-Fi Center, the ultimate pop culture lair.
Woo! Oh, so happy it's Thursday for another 8 minutes. It would appear, judging from my weather 10-day forecast, that we are done with the 100s. It's pathetic that I am saying this approaching October 11th, 2024, but the entire nation's weather has been kind of wacky. We're still tracking hurricanes and reassessing that damage way later than we ever should be. So it looks like we're looking at lows of 68 this weekend, which is perfect because I got an outdoor wrestling event and I don't need people passing out. Tonight's show is brought to you by Paramount Pictures Smile 2 in theaters October 18th, the last thing that you'll see. I really hope this is good. I liked the first one, but it didn't stick that landing. And this to me is an opportunity for it to back up the first one. So I'm looking forward to it. If you are local in Las Vegas, take a look at all our social media. You'll see there's a couple different ways for you to be at the special screening that's happening at AMC Town Square this coming Tuesday. Also, swing by the Sci-Fi Center this weekend, and I have free posters for you. Once again, Smile 2 in theaters October 18th, I'm sorry. All right, so I read Absolute Batman #1 today. Read it just about a few hours ago. And I wanted to wait. Because whenever I read something that I think is going to be epic going into it, and when I think it's going to be, when I have high expectations and high hopes for it, and it actually meets that, I need to sit back for a while because I don't want to be one of those people who are a prisoner of the moment and they just throw out hyperbole, oh, it was the greatest thing since, whatever. And I didn't want to do that. So I wanted to sit and I wanted to contemplate and I wanted to take a look at it again, go over certain pages. It's great. It's everything that I was hoping for. It's everything that is needed. It is an approach to Batman that is unique. It is probably one of the most unique approaches to Batman that I've seen in all my years of collecting. The risk that they take here because of the way the universe is set up makes sense. It has drastically dramatic differences from mainline Batman. But at the core of it, it is still Bruce Wayne. It is still Batman. He still has the same value set that a Batman is going to have anywhere that you see him, unless he's the Batman who laughs or something like that. Alfred in this is going to be kick-ass. All the things that they've ever hinted on about what Alfred could be as far as his MI6. By the way, this is going to be a non-spoiler review because of the fact that it's sold out just about everywhere. A lot of you guys that are going to watch this, depending on when you watch it, are not going to have a chance to read it. And I don't want to blow for you This Saturday on our overnight show, we are going to go full in, page by page breakdowns of it. So I'm just going to give you what it would be like my out of the theater non-spoiler review, and then this Saturday night, when I'm at the center, I will have it in my hand, and we will go through it. One of you guys, one of you lucky son of a bitches that have become one of my disciples. One of you on the internet, that means our YouTube channel, and one of you local walk-in people are going to get your own copy of this. And since it's the way it's selling right now, that's going to be pretty valuable. I can see the price going up on this really soon. I hope that people don't price gouge, but you know what? It's a hot book, and it's backed up. This is exactly what DC Comics needed right now. This is exactly what the DC brand needs right now, period. Like I've said before. The writing in it is great. It is issue number 1 is told from the POV of Alfred, who is not the Alfred you're going to be used to. Leave yourself open for a draft. Just like the people who read the Ultimate Spider-Man and some of the things that have come out since the Ultimate Universe has come out. Leave yourself open. Detach yourself enough from the traditional Batman to allow yourself to enjoy this one, because there is a lot to enjoy. Kudos to Scott Snyder. It is as good. I can see why he was excited about this, and my excitement about it has been justified. I can't wait to see the rest of the parts of this universe come together. All right, I don't know where the hell Brad is, but hey, let's go ahead and say hi to the chat. Hello, Ruth. How you doing? Hey, it's my favorite Aussie. One of them, at least. What's up, Antonio Baker? I know Brad is around on the internet. I just don't know where he's at right now. Yeah, man, I've been dealing with the tail end of allergies. It's been really fucking everything up for me. I've not had a good night's sleep in about a few days because of the way the allergies take hold of me overnight, and then the stuff I'm taking really throws off my sleeping pattern. So yeah, and the cough, it's been draining from my head and it's been coming all the way down here. The mission for me is to get it before it starts to get down here and starts to really, really go bad for me. So as soon as I feel it coming up here and I know when it's coming, because the roof of my mouth gets all swollen and shit, I take the big shit. I take the most powerful medicine I can get my hands on to keep it from minimize it from when it gets down here. It has gotten somewhat down here, but not as bad as it did the last round. So, yep, that was me. Smile 2. Get it right. Smile 2. I actually sent a couple of people to go see it today. They had a surprise screening today that they gave me some tickets for. And I sent some people today to see it, so it'll be interesting to see what they think of it. But like I said, I liked the original Smile movie until, like I said, it's like Jordan Peele movie sometimes, and like Shyamalan movie where it just loses me at the end. But with there being more story to tell, hopefully this sequel ties up a lot of those ends for me. Antonio Baker, I couldn't join the conversation last night about the colorism debate. I'm not happy with people decided to say that the show man is not black when you give him. Oh yeah, I mean, like I said, I heard there's different context to it, but I can't see any context where that wouldn't annoy me. It's a comic book character for one, so how black do you think he is? And like I said, just because somebody, I mean, I've seen different angles of it. A light-skinned black person is what he's not. Listen, any percentage of black in you, you're black. All right. Barack Hussein Obama, our first black president, was biracial. 50% white, 50% black. Guess what? Guess what has society and most black people? Black. Black. That's the dominant feature. So you can't really say. I mean, actually, some of the stuff I've seen about this casting, I've kind of just moved past it because I didn't want to get annoyed. But yeah, it's kind of silly. I've been calling it hyperbole since I was 6. I'm picky. I'm not cheating. All right, please do not refer to the damn elf in the chat. I'm doing all right. Ah, jeez. That apartment 7 or whatever. Listen, I'm not a big fan of Rosemary's Baby. I think it's boring and it's just to me it's an art film. I don't know other people love it, so I think that's apartment 7 something whatever 7B whatever. I have no plans of seeing it because I'm not the biggest fan of Rosemary's Baby. So going to see a prequel to a movie that I'm not really sorry guys. Yeah, so skeptics, what's going on? William, what's happening with the wrestling event? How many will attend, and will you be able to get the guys to give us? I'm not saying that right now. I don't know how many people will attend. I mean, we've had a lot of people. Usually, our events in the courtyard when we do our wrestling events, they do pretty well. I will be taking a lot of pictures from the courtyard, so we'll be having a lot of fun there. I still plan on keeping my normal schedule for Saturday as much as I can because even though we're putting it on and we're sponsors. I'm not the main person that is required to set things up and break things down. I think, I have to grant access to certain things, but I don't have to do like I am with Rocky Horror where I was just the whole thing. So have you seen the trailer for the new movie, The Order, starring Jude Law and Nicholas Hoult? I do not think I have seen that, no. Buddy, I feel William would secretly love to sing us a Christmas song. Listen, I'm all about Christmas. I like Christmas. Christmas is one of my favorite times of the year. I love Christmas movies. I just don't like the elf because it's stupid. I'm not a big Will Ferrell fan outside of Saturday Night Live. I think he does some hilarious stuff on Saturday Night Live. But there hasn't been one Will Ferrell movie where I was like, why can I get this part of my life back for watching this? That whole Land of the Lost, that was it for me. I'm like, this is so stupid. So no. I hear Will Ferrell and I go the other way. Maybe. Maybe I'll get an elbow dropped on me. Who knows? Don't know how involved I'll be. Oh, I heard about this. Okay, yeah, I heard about this. I have not seen the trailer for it though. I've heard about it though. So yeah, absolute Batman is I'm gonna bring up some panels, some stuff that's nondescript. So those of you who have not, you know, it's going to be. There's some the way he uses his costume in here is great. Those long things he's using them to walk on throughout the comic, and he uses them to grab people. He uses his cape differently here than I've ever seen a Batman use it. I'm trying to find some good panels that don't. Oh, by the way, for those of you who are speculating, the his bat symbol is indeed an axe. He takes it off and he actually chops the guy's arm off. Doesn't kill the guy. Doesn't kill the guy. He tells him, "No, you need to get to the hospital before you bleed out." But yeah, it's let me bring up this panel. It's let me hide. There's something on this page I don't want you guys to see until you purchased it or until you had a chance to get on here. So he's a demon in this, man. He uses his costume. His ear things are actually stilettos. Hey, what's going on? His ears are actually stilettos that he can pick out and throw at you.
Shit, really? because I haven't read Absolute Batman
Yeah,
yet. So, you're starting off like, I mean, God, this is perfect first thing for me to hear coming on tonight.
Yeah, I just read it a few hours ago. His axe, he has a handle. It pulls down. He takes it out, and it, like I said, he cuts a guy's arm off. This Batman's different. I know a couple of weeks ago we were discussing just how old Batman would be when he starts to be the Batman. Here he's 24, and there's reasons why this Batman wouldn't be as old as the mainline Batman, which I've surmised to be very late 20s or 30s. This Batman's circumstances are different than the mainline Batman. The way he becomes, he's not rich. He's not rich. He's not a billionaire. His parents, what happens to his parents is drastically different in particular ways that you'll see once you read it. And like I said, I won't leave you in the dark for a moment. For those of you who have gotten it, you know what I'm talking about. Don't spoil it in the chat for people. But come Saturday, we're going to go, like I said, I'm going to have an issue sitting in front of me, and we're going to go through it page by page, and then I'll have the pages up on the screen because there's a digital version of it somewhere. Alfred, like I said, Alfred is an ass kicker in this. A lot of the people who have liked
man, it's like you're just getting me more excited by the minute. You crack this
Yeah.
open.
For a lot of the people who like the MI6 comparisons and things like that, or that have been hinted around in various versions of him, you're going to love him. Like I said, the entire story, issue number 1, possibly the whole series, I'm not sure, is told from his point of view. He has no connection to Batman upon arriving in Gotham, and he's there in Gotham for a reason. Bruce is every bit the ghost type of horror type of thing that that he is. In fact, there's some maneuvering and manipulating that he does that you find out at the end of the issue to realize just how smooth he is. Let's see, he's much bigger. His philosophy on fighting crime is, even though it's the same type of thing, how he does it in regards to his body and his equipment is different from the Batman we know and understand. What else could I tell you without?
Well, because with what you were, and yeah, sorry, I was on a little bit, coming on a little bit later, and I was having a little bit. I was finishing up turning in something, and also writing it up and getting that edited, and also just hopping on after that. But with what you said though, and here we see that. I mean, this image right here is perfect. I guess perfect segue to this question: does Batman kill in Absolute Batman? Because if he's not killing him, he's like leaving them for dead. It looks like
he beats the hell out of them. One of the enemies is one of the Black Mask gang. I won't go beyond that. He takes on a bunch of them, and he beats the hell out of them single-handedly. Single-handedly beats it out of them. And then, like as you can see, there's a scene here. That's his axe, and that's the guy's arm. The guy has a cleaver. He's coming at him, and then Batman cuts his hand up. He does have a strict no-kill rule here, but it doesn't. It's only intent. It's only intent. This Batman will do what needs to be done. It is not, and they clearly touch on that. It is not his aim. Killing is not his aim.
So his philosophy is, I'm not trying to kill you, but if you don't make it, so be it.
I will do everything in my power to beat the shit out of you without killing you. But there's a part of that is in the control of the people he's fighting. There's only so much that he can do to safeguard their lives while they're trying to kill him.
That's like stated by Batman up front. And it's like
you have to read it.
Okay.
You have to read it. Batman doesn't. You don't hear a lot from him in this because it's told from Alfred's point of view.
Okay.
So yeah, it's a brutal. It's brutal.
Yeah,
it's brutal.
Man,
the way
you're selling me on this so much, man.
The primary villain that's in this particular issue kills people, and certain people are around that are not around in mainline, and certain people get taken out, and then certain people's how do I say this without fucking this up? Because there's something that happens that is supposed to be very important to everybody that's probably going to be into this comic, because it's a different upbringing, it's a different core, and it's not just a different core for Batman, Bruce Wayne. It's a different core for some of the people that are involved in Gotham and all that.
Yeah,
So
this sounds so metal, man. This sounds like the most.
well, he took aspects from it. He took you could back for those of you guys who like Dark Knight's metal and all that stuff that spawned from that universe. Scott Snyder had a lot to. Yeah, you're gonna love this.
Well, I'm just saying. I'm not saying strictly Dark Knight's metal. I'm talking about just the feel. I mean, just generally, it's very metal, just very heavy metal.
Yeah, it's
man, I'm so ready to read. Because again, it's like I haven't had the chance to get into my comic book store. Because that's what I hope they got the reprint of the All In special. So like this Absolute Batman, I'm ready.
I got some more of those back in. I got some more of the All In #4s back in. So man, and I know I'm gonna have a bunch of people.
I have not been this excited to crack open an issue in a long time.
I haven't been this excited to sell comics in quite a while. Let's look on here and make sure.
Now, of course, it does bear. Clint says no kill rule of maiming is a-okay, and we have some thoughts from somebody else in the chat too.
This Batman may have put on some muscle mass, but when he faces Bane, the result will be the same. I will always break the back.
All right, guys.
I'm sorry I had to, man.
I'm having a serious Batman conversation tonight. Let's keep the shitty characters out of here.
You gotta let me have that one, man. Okay. But
no, and the guy, you clearly see the guy. He cuts the guy's arm off. I mean, tells him,
that's unambiguous from that image.
He tells him, "Hey, I think I saw a hospital down the road. You should run." I'm like, "Well, fuck, dude. That guy can die."
That?
Yeah, that guy can die.
Shit. Man.
Yeah, he's brutal and he's big.
I was already saying he's like a power lifter.
Yeah, and there's the road to him becoming Batman is very different. It leads to the same mindset, and there's certain things that do happen to him that are consistent everywhere else, but they happen differently because remember, this is born of Darkseid's chaos. Where he goes up, how he comes up is different. He's not rich at all. He's not, but he has the mental wherewithal to do the same things. He just doesn't have billions.
That feels a little bit reminiscent to me, or like you talk about Robert Pattinson's like, I mean, it is clear in the movie that he is he does have his billions, but they really that's kind of kept more in the background. They really de-emphasize the billionaire aspect of the Batman with Robert Pattinson's Batman. So it's not like this is like taking a step further where it's like it's just stripping that away completely.
Yeah, because of the way the origins of this character are not the same.
Shit, man,
they're not the same.
God, I want to read this right now.
He uses his cape. There's one frame where he's literally hanging like a bat does, and they're shooting at him, and his cape is covering. He can use the edges, those little things. He can use them to grab people. He does use them to grab and throw people.
You mean his gauntlets?
No. His the ends of his bats, the little things that you see here.
Oh, okay.
The little long things, and he walks on them. And you keep seeing these things in the background that are his influences.
Yeah.
So it gives you an idea how different his influences are, and it shows how bats walk on their wings when they want to. Wow. And that's what he does. He walks on his wings to make himself look bigger, and they're scared the shit out of him. Man. Wow. So yeah, it's in every way it's great.
It sounds like I said, it sounds very metal. It sounds very heavy metal. Oh, so yeah, you sold me, man. If I wasn't sold already, I was sold now on all absolute DC. This is like this is a corner of the multiverse. This is a reimagining of DC that is like this is like a reinvigoration that we haven't seen in such a long time, and the comic side of it, and of course that's the baseline for the whole IP. So like everything you've said about like this is a good. This is a great. This doing well bodes well for it having like
it's selling out everywhere. I have some copies.
You can't read about it online now without talking about how incredibly well received and how well it's selling. It is right now. So that's like it's already everything you were talking about there. It's like you're saying about like this needs to do well to kind of point the compass for DC, as a larger
people
company.
Need to support it. They need to support it,
and it's already there. I mean, it's like it's game set match on that already, and they're only like they are the absolute the all in special and the Batman first issue in, and it's already hit that out of the park. So
yes, Vince. Yeah, we need to listen, guys. It's been fun with some of these, but it's as like I said, especially the Bane one. You know,
So I can't bring a buddy. This buddy's all
I see him in there. Like I said, eventually it gets crazy, it gets old, and it's distracting. There's just certain things that we do on the show that that as we grow, I'm like, come on, like like when I have Drogo on and he's like showing something on his phone while I'm trying to make it. Those things like that, we gotta clean that up, man. We got brand new people coming in. We don't want to look like a treehouse. So I am going to do my best to it. If I think you're, if I think it's a spoof, I'm not gonna ban you necessarily. I'm just gonna move past you. I'm just gonna scroll past it.
And by the way, I guess perfect. Because you got the Shazam shirt on, and I got my my Justice League shirt on. So it's like we both got like DC attire on as we're talking about this right now. So this is like we dress for the occasion.
Yeah, like I said, I cannot wait to put this in the hands of people, especially those who have strayed away and just have just gone on to other things when it comes to DC. It is like I said, it's a perfect start. You couldn't have asked for a better narrative start. The story is excellent. I would say don't buy this on digital. I would say go get this because I think it's a collector's item. It's a collector's item. So
well, at comics, I'm not really a big. I have here and there, but it's like I'm not it's like what's the Stan Lee quote or there's some quote he had where it's like it's just more satisfying, like when you're reading it to have it in your
hands,
flip the pages. So it's like whenever I'm with my comics life, I'm always going to be like a page flipper. So
we got to bring them. We got to bring them. We have an entirely new generation though who has never had that importance, and I hope they come back and because this is a good time to come back. Not only this came out, we got other stuff that came out, and I'll highlight it when I'm at the store again. The mainline DC stuff, they're all starting brand new storylines because of all this. So there's some stuff that you should be picking up. Not just don't buy Absolute Batman. The way Scott Snyder and crew have put this together, you want to get it all. You want to get everything in there as it comes out.
Well, like you said, it's like this is a new universe being started, but it's being done in a way where it's not taking the place of like it's not being positioned as this is like mainline DC now. This is the mainline comics continuity.
They're not Jeff Johning things.
It's in fact it's actually very complementary to the main continuity because it's the story it's being told it's something that's born out of it. It's a byproduct of it.
Yeah, so, and Darkseid, like I said, right now this particular issue of this is just building on Batman, building on the environment. Building on there's a particular villain that's in here. I'm not going to reveal it for you.
I'm assuming it's not Bane.
No, I hope they never do Bane, to be honest with you. And if they were to do Bane, if you ever are going to do Bane and not make me vomit of a waste of absolute molecules that this character has been since its inception, Scott Snyder in this universe could do it because you could write it in a way. Because of the way you've designed this Batman, this particular if you designed a Bane to fit in this world and erased all the stupid shit that is 90% of the character and just made something like that, it would fit here because of the kind of Batman we have. The kind of Batman that Bane was introduced in was to me it's worthless. It's worthless. A Bane in this universe would actually work because of the way. This is what's up.
Imagine how big he'd have to be to
exactly
bring the Batman.
This Batman is massive. I'm guessing Bruce Wayne is about 6'3", 6'4". I'm guessing this Batman
it's like 6'8" or 6'9".
Minimum 6'6". There's some exaggeration things of it, but the way he operates, his fighting style, and there's a scene in here which is real fucking cool because Alfred is watching him from afar. There's a scene where Batman. There's like about at least 20 or so of these villains that he's fighting, and they stand. And Alfred's noting these guys don't stand any chance. And he's like, in every martial art he's trying to use, he's breaking down all of Batman's skills while he's watching him.
So they get the detail in his fighting style too.
Yeah. There's a spot, and this is where he says, and you see a spot where Alfred's like, okay, and you've been trained too. You're not just some brawler. You've been trained. You've been trained, and he's like going over certain things, and because he sees the Batman as an enemy at first, because of some things that go
Oh
on.
man, so you now you sold the martial arts fanboy on me, and this, and I was already on board. So
Yeah, he's breaking down his techniques, his fighting techniques, because this Alfred is coming from a background to where he's that guy.
to where
He's that secret agent
he would have
guy.
training. Yeah.
Yeah, he's not of Gotham. He is going in Gotham on business. Now, the point of view from the Batman in this universe is he's not a worldly Batman. He's not a world traveler in that respect, and he doesn't care about the world.
So he didn't spend 20 years traveling, training, getting all the
It does
skills.
not appear to, and his only concern seems to be for Gotham. He's there for Gotham. He's not thinking about Metropolis. It doesn't appear there's nothing in there that brings in anything that is not Gotham.
So this Batman is not. I mean, I guess it'll remain to be seen like where it goes, like the larger characters. But this Batman, when we meet him, he is not part of a Justice League at this point.
No, okay. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. As a matter of fact, everything in here is contained in Gotham. Everything in here is about Gotham. About Gotham's, you get introduced to some of this. Now, you're going to get introduced to some very, very familiar names. And if you're not a Batman fan, you might want to pick up some of the real names of these characters, because certain characters will become certain things, but they're introduced as their real alter egos at first. And I'll leave that up to you to read.
My mind's just kind of reeling at who the villain was alluding to, because they haven't I don't think they've said publicly really for any of the characters who's going to be the villain who's first introduced with Batman or Superman or Wonder Woman. Man, it's see
what Wonder Woman I think is going to be part of Darkseid's remnants, his parademons, because she's dealing with black magic and all kinds of shit, the leftover magic and powers that he has. So I think he's going to have a bigger tie. And you see her horse looks like a fucking parademon.
It's true, yeah. Oh man, it's so again, I was already looking forward to this, but it's man, this is again, like I said, I mean everything you've said, and it's I have not been this excited to read comics in a really long time. This is man.
And like I said, it's violent it doesn't hold back the violence.
Wow. And I mean can you maybe not so much for the Batman one, but could you for DC, for the All In, the one they've already got a second printing for, it's can you share any sales figures yet for that?
Oh, I sold out, but I reordered. Yeah. So I don't give too many details of numbers on
for something like this, like something that's meant to be a big event kind of story, what is considered in terms of the just the overall, not just for sci-fi side, but overall sales, what's considered good, what's considered really good, what's considered a hit as far as quantity of sales?
Well, you'd go by percentage.
Okay.
100% of what you've sold. So let's say I ordered, let's just start there, 50 units, right? And you sell all 50 units.
Well, that's not good. That's great.
That's 100%.
Fantastic. Yeah.
Not only is it good in volume, it is good in. I'm trying to see if I can bring up this fight scene that he's breaking down.
Oh man! Oh please!
But I don't have it.
Half of me wants to please bring it down. Half of me wants to save it when I got the issue in front of me. I'm really. I think I may go drive to my comic book store tomorrow and try to pick this up, and also see if they got the reprint of All In back in the store.
And if not, I do have some of those.
Vince says the first print. You're talking about the All In special, right, Vince?
Yeah, number one.
So it's only 250,000 copies. So I'm assuming that's good, because
it
sounds
that in this era of comic books, that's amazing.
One, not only that, but also it's sold. If they're all selling out, then they sold all 250 they put out already. So
yeah, what they did is when they put out, I can't find it in here, but I'll bring it up when I'm at the store tomorrow. 250,000 in 2024 is amazing, and Batman's going to outsell that. Batman's going to outsell that. That's just a glimpse of what the absolute universe is. Batman number one. If everybody sells 100% of their inventory, which I think they're going to, that's going to eclipse that, because that's the main title and it's a number one. I know stores here already. I've seen them going for prices fact, let's look. I hope people haven't done this shit yet. Hold on.
Are you talking about people scalping already?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's like, I mean, it's a good problem to have, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I just like to make, like I said, I just like to make things affordable.
Hmm.
Let's do that. So how much was the ash can? Because my ash can that got destroyed. Wow, somebody's selling an ash can for like hundreds of dollars, and mine got destroyed during shipping.
Wow.
That sucks. Oh well, I think I can still get it pressed because there was the one you had to get at Comic-Con. You people are out of your mind. So far they're not going for too bad. Nah, we're not going to. I see some people selling them for $65.
It's on the issue for $65. Oh,
Yeah, and then I see some people selling them for $7. I want the
Well,
Akira cover. I want the Akira. The Akira cover is the one I want.
because
But it's like $60.
for anybody who's again is a little bit is not as deep in the comics world, like on average these days, a single issue will set you back about I think about $3-4 now.
Yeah. See, some of these variants are insane. There's an absolute Batman from that looks like Detective
Oh,
Comics
and that's
number one.
that's really cool. That's really
Yeah, that's kind of cool there. So
Yeah,
yeah,
it's-
you'll probably see some people doing some crazy shit as far as selling them goes. And then, like, and there's a second printing already out.
cool.
There you go.
Look at how enormous he is.
Yeah, that's a second printing. That's probably I don't know what the print run on that one's going to be, but yeah.
Yeah, I'm really curious too about that axe he's carrying. That bat axe.
This is the one I want, but I'm not paying. I'm the Akira one, but I'm not paying $100 for that. You fucking
Okay. What? So does that? Well, I mean, without going to spoilers, does that play like? I mean, I'm assuming it does, as he chops the guy's arm off. But I mean, like, how significant a role does that play? Like, is there an explanation for like like why he's carrying an axe or?
Not really. Not yet. Not
Okay.
that.
Okay, so that may be something to get to later, but it's just kind of like.
Well, he makes rudimentary weapons with the money he has because he has a day job. He's a construction guy.
Oh, okay. So this is a really like this is you've really taken him out of the billionaire side of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So people, yeah. Aaron, it's called scalping. People do with tickets. People do with comics. People do with everything you can get your hands on. But again, like I said, it's for something like this, it's I guess quote unquote a good problem to have.
Yeah.
I mean, it's definitely an indicator of popularity.
All right, so let's see. All right, 59 of you here watching us across all of our formats. 37, pretty decent amount watching us on our actual YouTube channel for a change there. For those of you who are watching on that Elon Musk land, come on over to YouTube. There you go. If you're watching us right now, and if you can hear me right now, I know some of you, I hope you have the sound up. YouTube.com/@the Sci-Fi Center. Like, subscribe, join our conversation, hit the bell so that you can hear everything that that we talk about, things like this. Like I said, go ahead.
Well, I was just asking, so this is just Batman. Like, when are I'm gonna look up again. I'm gonna pull up Wikipedia because I'm now with like that much more. I'm like, okay, when's Superman coming? When's Wonder Woman coming? When are all the other individual characters coming?
Yeah, we got them coming out. I think Wonder Woman is next week, if I'm not mistaken. But I think I may be able to pay. I think most of my middlemen have Wonder Woman, or they have the next issues of something. So, but we're not. They don't want us putting things out. That soon.
Yes,
because my distributor had Batman. They had Batman number one. They just didn't want to release it.
As far as like the ongoing series, you had the All-In special, and then the ongoing. There's going to be for like individual series. There'll be Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, Flash, and Green Lantern. So those are going to be like the individual, absolute DC series right now, and they're all the Batman, Wonder Woman they're both dropping this month. Superman is in November. Flash starts in March. And still not still have a date yet on Green Lantern,
which I wish was coming sooner than the Flash, but you know what? Like I said, but yeah, they're unfolding it, and it's going to be interesting to see how everything. But they released the right one first. Batman is DC's top seller. It's DC's top IP right now, money wise. So to get everybody excited about everything else, they do just like most people do, and they do it first with Batman. I think that, like I said, the numbers will back this up, and I think the numbers will generate a new way of thinking. If people pay attention to these numbers, you could literally, like I said, it's a confluence of a lot of different things. You have things happening outside of what's going to be established as a mainline DC universe. You have Matt Reeves things going on. Forget about the Joker. That's fucking stupid. People thinking that everything is going to end because the Joker didn't make money.
Well, the Joker, that series is definitely going to end now.
Yeah, I mean, but that doesn't mean we're not doing other things in other places. Yeah, it's just a matter of like I said, being able to talk about these things without having to bring up words like the other Snyder and like DC, the other DCU, things like that.
It sounds like if you're a fan of the other Snyder, you're probably going to love Absolute DC.
Yeah, I think it's definitely the right tone, but I saw some ridiculous shit when it came to Wonder Woman 84 today, and I'm like, the internet has, come on, guys.
I had some fun with that too, if you guys may have seen.
I didn't even understand what the point was because, I mean, and I already established the fact that James Gunn's position wasn't based on box office, or he wouldn't be there. Obviously he made a pitch to, about something else, to something else, and they determined that the reasons why Suicide Squad lost all that money was a bunch of different things that didn't have anything necessarily to do with him directly. I saw the comparison to Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman 84 was just a bad movie, and that's the thing that hurts. That if you were to put those things on the scale, Suicide Squad's a decent movie. I actually think it's a really good movie. Wonder Woman 84 is an awful movie. So that didn't help it. And but yeah, they were both released under the same circumstances. One of them lost way more money. Suicide Squad lost way more money because of the promotional budget was almost 25 to.
Well, Wonder Woman 84, has the COVID excuse because it came out way sooner than the pandemic.
It actually came out after.
It came out December 2020, so it's like that was before that was kind of like right before we had the vaccine.
Oh, that's right. It didn't have a release in theaters, did it?
No, it did, but it had the day and date thing. But
yes, so did Suicide Squad.
Again, theaters were like just barely starting to open their doors by that point.
Yeah, Suicide Squad was released in August of 2021. So a lot of the stuff that is that we were ailing, we were still in COVID, but it was not the same thing. Godzilla vs. Kong was the movie that broke through as far as letting people know. Okay,
I remember I saw that in the theater when it came out. I remember that again. That was the first time since pre-pandemic I had seen a theater that packed. And I mean, now granted, Spider-Man: No Way Home really blew that out of the water, but that was the first one. Once theaters opened back up, that I really saw a big audience turnout for. And again, the joke I make is it's very easy to understand why, because after that past year, we all had so much pent up anger. It's like, what could be more cathartic than watching the lizard, the chimp beating the hell out of each other for 2 hours? But yeah, there was some Wonder Woman talk today in relation to the DCU and DC Studios, James Gunn, and
who put that out there? That was just so.
Well, that was an interview with Connie Nielsen, and if you guys go over to my Twitter,
that's right.
Which I know, a lot of you probably have. I know, and some of you definitely have. I decided to, press a few buttons there, as I'm, well known to do. I'm
sorry. Andy had a horrible take, in my opinion. Is that Peacemaker was successful? And my question about that is, okay, I like the show, but I will never know for real. They will never give those numbers to me, and there's no way to track that number. So whether it was successful or not, that didn't. There's no way I could ever know that.
Yeah, with streaming, we're always basically taking them at their word when they tell us how well something did, and especially with the management at the time, I'm not prepared to take their word on anything.
And Peacemaker came about from something that lost him $51 million. So it's not like you have to go further back and tell me that something was success on streaming, which I'll never know the numbers one way or another. But I can tell you that Suicide Squad was not a success in the theaters. Suicide Squad lost them money. They spent a boatload of money on that promotion. Trust me, I was a beneficiary of it. But the problem you're going to have, though, is you can't really say that this happened because of a box office success. Peacemaker literally came from a box office failure. And you cannot give it the COVID excuse because of all the movies that we just spoke of. The Suicide Squad was released as clear from COVID as any of those other movies. It came out in August of 2021. We were 4 months into the vaccine program, and cases were going down, and theaters were more open than they were on any of those other cases. So,
yeah. Well, and by the way, to be clear, it's like Andy, we're still buds. I mean, this is like a major diss, but yeah.
And I just clarified. I didn't think. I mean, I just thought that was not the best comparison.
And also because Peacemaker, obviously, that was kind of a package deal. Because I mean, James Gunn, when he started with DC at the time, he got the Suicide Squad, and it was part of it. He also pitched, I have this idea for a spin-off TV show on this character Peacemaker, and they said, okay, you got that. So that was already in the can when the movie came out. So the fact that Peacemaker was, I mean, even though the movie didn't, perform theatrically, Peacemaker, I mean, the fact that it was already in the can really salvaged it. Because I mean, you didn't have David Zaslav around to declare a tax write-off at the time, so.
Well, and they wanted the Marvel guy that fell from the tree, and they were going to give him anything he wanted, which is like, fine, but you can't come back with, well, the Snyderverse this was a failure when you have something that lost that much money getting propelled, when something that drew 678 million and then went on to do 873 million got canned. You can no longer use box office as an excuse. You can use stupid ass expectations, but then where were the expectations for the Suicide Squad? It didn't meet them. You can't lose that much money and meet expectations. So how did I get an entire show out of a movie that lost a ton of money? So
I'm not gonna stir the pot too much for this with my commentary on that whole thing. I'll put it in the chat for everybody so you guys can see what the thing I put on Twitter.
Yeah, but like I said, it's good to to talk about DC Comics. Like I said, I will eventually go back to hard banning Zack Snyder stuff. Zach, I love you. I do. I watch your stuff. But right now, all your name exists right now for is to people to start fights and get clicks.
Well, I mean, he might be as far as start fights part. I mean, he might be doing some literal fights in the near future because apparently he's got that UFC movie.
And I'm gonna get trashed for you're not a Snyder fan because you're not gonna watch. I'm not in. I can barely watch UFC in highlights on SportsCenter.
This is like, I mean, outside. I was thinking about it the other day. It's like ranking or the different genres he's worked in. I mean, obviously, I love all the superhero stuff he's done. I want to see the rest of what he planned with that. I love his zombie movies, but then I mean, he's making an MMA movie, so that's just right on my alley. So it's like
that is in the subway station for me. I have no interest in a UFC movie. Now I'll see it, but I'm not. That's not my jam. That's not what I do. See.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
Yeah, so
it doesn't make you less of a Snyder fan because it's like
no, and I'll have people that'll come after me. The cape stuff. I'm like, yeah, well, no, I'm into the other stuff, but I don't. I always defend people who are only into his comic book stuff. I mean, if you don't like the other stuff, if you're not into the other stuff, if you're not into Rebel Moon's way of telling story, I can't blame you if you didn't tune in for that. If you wanted more of the S in the bat and you didn't get it and you tuned out, I can't blame you for that. I can't call you any less of a fan because then if that's the truth, then I'm less of a fan of some of my favorite directors. Ridley Scott makes some movies that are absolutely fucking horrendous, but yet he's still one of my favorite directors. There's a lot of directors that I like, and a lot of people who are in things that I will not watch. I mean, I have favorite actors and actresses that usually, if they're in my genre, I will see everything that they do. But you put out a rom-com, you can forget it. If you put out some slapstick bullshit, you know what? Congratulations on your career. I'm glad you're doing well. I'm not going to go see it.
Yeah, see, Aaron's definitely very simpatico with me on that. So
yeah, I'm just not in the MMA. And it's not a knock against Zack Snyder, of course. I'm just not in the MMA. I don't care about movies about MMA. I don't even care about the sport as much. I mean, now I'll tune in when there's a big name like a Conor McGregor or somebody like that. But as far as like a day by day, that's one of the sports that I just don't care about. And I don't even care about boxing anymore. Most combat sports, period, unless there was a big name. I'll watch the Jake, whatever, the Mike Tyson type of deal. That's a mockery type of deal. But at the same time, I can't name you any of the current champions on any weight class. I just don't care about that sport anymore.
Aaron. First time in 24th. It's like Sarah Fanny. Yeah. He's made that.
That's subjective, and that's mine.
Mm.
That's fine. I hate Thelma and Louise, and I'm no less a Ridley Scott fan.
Droga's made it clear, arguably more than he needs to. I would say that he didn't like Rebel Moon.
A lot of people didn't, and that's fine. That's what movies are. But like I said, if you liked any of his, if you liked the superhero stuff, then you're a Zack Snyder fan. That's it. Nobody can really determine.
Here's a good one from Aaron. And would you be in the Zack? I have no doubt, William. And that would be the one where it's like I'd probably see it, but it's like, and I'm not. It's not as much. I'm not.
I might be more into that than anything. But like I said, to me, Zack Snyder, for me, it's superheroes and fantastic and stuff. I would watch a wrestling movie no matter who's directing it, though. To be in all fairness, though. So
yeah,
because that's what I am into.
It's interesting too, because I mean the rumor right now is that that Adam Driver is like in talks for this UFC movie, so that'll be interesting because he's obviously best known for Kylo Ren. I liked 65 actually, the dinosaur movie that he did. I really enjoyed that. And funny thing too, this may sound a little bit like a kind of vanity comment, but if you talk about I was thinking about this the other day actually because of this news. You ever entertain I know William's not the biggest guy in fan casting, but when you talk about the idea of like fan casting, like who would play you, like who would you envision playing you in a movie or and something like that? And I always thought there are a couple of people I thought of. It's like I could see Carl Urban as me, even though he's 15 years my senior. So because I kind of use the baseline of like 10 is kind of like the cutoff usually, but I could probably see Carl Urban. I could see Sebastian Stan as me, and I could envision Adam Driver. I could see like fan casting who would play Brad. It's like Adam Driver. I think he could be a pretty good me. So, and now he's apparently, by according to the rumors, stepping into a world that I'm very familiar with. So, now he's that much closer to playing me, I guess. Imagine like they name his character Brad in this UFC movie. That'd be pretty awesome. I don't know, William. Like who would you?
You never think of this.
You never think like who would you fan cast as you? Let's just go with Ernie Hudson. Come on. He doesn't age. So.
Yeah, I mean, hey.
Azteca says you can see John Leguizamo as me. That's pretty cool. Let's see.
He doesn't do enough work these days.
John, he was. We need to do a watch party of Violent Night when it gets closer to the holidays because he's awesome as the bad guy in Violent Night.
Yeah, he's definitely awesome.
Yeah, he's that might be one of his. I think that might be one of his best performances actually as the villain in Violent Night. Because if you haven't seen Violent Night, it's I like it too. It's basically kind of like Die Hard with Santa. And what happens is, Santa. He's kind of David Harbour is playing kind of like a disillusioned kind of Santa Claus, where he's a little bit of an alcoholic. He's kind of he's seeing the world around him. He's actually a former Viking, and he's kind of at this point where it's like he thinks kids, there's too much avarice around Christmas. He's kind of thinking about hanging it up, and so he goes to this one wealthy family's house on Christmas Eve, and when he's doing that, this gang of thieves, they've taken over the place and they're trying.
They have weird names, by the way. They got Christmas themed names.
Yeah. Well, Leguizamo, his real name is revealed, but he goes by Mr. Scrooge in it, and they're trying to crack into the family safe and get their fortune out of there. And his Mr. Scrooge, Leguizamo's villain, he has this backstory that he reveals about. It's not just a matter of he calls himself Mr. Scrooge, for there. It's not just something he's pulling out of his ass. I mean, there's a reason why he hates Christmas, and he makes that clear. And he has reason in his personal life too, and that kind of fuels his antipathy towards Santa in the movie. So he's a little bit of a tragic villain.
Oh yeah, they have a little flashback there. That was hilarious.
So he's So I really dug Violent Nights. It's gonna definitely give me my Christmas rotation every year. We're getting that point now. I really dig too they show the list that's the naughty and nice list, and what it is, and it's kind of like the scroll that he opens up, and it's the paper, it's kind of made of energy, and it's sort of whoever he's, I guess, thinking of at the time. It's like you like pull up like the naughty or nice on this person, and it'll say like they're nice. They this attribute about them. So it's a really cool kind of a new take. And that's I know they do have Violent Night 2 in the works, and it's like bring that on. So it's kind of like what he thinks about Thanksgiving. Like make this subversive kind of holiday season movie like a staple season because I
saw that in movies with that was it. It was like I said, the violence is something else.
Oh, and the I don't know how this might be a spoiler, but like the kind of like the one of like the final sort of deaths in it. It's got a really cool death at the end of it. That's like a Mortal Kombat fatality. And William, he's seen it, so he knows what I'm talking about.
It's a pretty decent.
I really enjoyed it, and it's like some of the John Wick guys were part of it. Some of the dudes actually.
I knew you would pull that up out of there.
Well, no, the '87 guys. This is their company. They were part of it. But not only that, but also when we had Liam on, we did the Skyline watch parties. Like a couple of the guys who were actually part of the last Skyline movie. They were actually part of this too. So. They help design the action in it. It's there's a lot of Santa sledgehammer kind of action. There's this one fight scene in this tool shed they have that's got a Christmas Will Never Go Away on the soundtrack. Yeah, this movie kicks ass. I love Violent Night. So we are doing a watch party of that either November or December. But speaking on the note of Violent Night, I know because Ruth there were a couple comments I saw here about Ruth really, of course, her anticipation is just through the roof for Terrifier 3. Aaron said T3 time for Ruth. You got to take her again. Is it because it's sold out? Because I can't believe you're waiting until Monday, other than it's selling out. Because I would think this. I went ahead and got my ticket. I'm seeing it tomorrow night about 9 my time, so I'll definitely be able to let you guys know my thoughts after that. And the thing about it is, it's also a Christmas movie. It takes place during Christmas, so it's definitely tipping over some sacred cows. This franchise, and of course, Ruth has us play kind of the audio of the audience reacting to this much hyped, very gory opening of the movie. So again, I do appreciate that it is going to be 20 minutes shorter than the last one, because the last one is like, my God in heaven, is the last one, and it's just such an endurance test. And that's coming from guys like William and I, who we are not squeamish at all. But it is, man, it's brutal. It's brutal doesn't even cover it. It is, the word hasn't been invented for how violent Terrifier 2 is, and how with Terrifier 3 surpassing that. I mean, I'm just at a loss for words. Like how bloody and how just over the top these movies are. But anyway, that's
anything else? I'm getting tired.
Well, we were just kind of on the Zack Snyder UFC movie that we were talking about. It's like again, what we've said about Art the Fleck, gonna learn from Art the Clown. Okay, thank you for the super chat for it. We were talking about, it's like if you're, that's something I'm definitely going to be checking out. But I'm not. That does not in any way diminish my desire or advocacy to see the rest of his Justice League story. And William is like, he feels the same on finishing that, but he's like, UFC not really my thing. So it's like,
I'm not into what I'm not into. So it's
but neither of those things, neither of those perspectives, should dictate your validity, the quote unquote validity of your fandom as a filmmaker. And frankly, it's like, who the hell is anybody to tell you, like, if your reverence of a storyteller is primarily predicated on one subset of their work, it's like for people to tell you, it's like, oh, you're not a true fan. It's like fuck off. It's like,
if John Carpenter did a rom-com, I'm not going to go see that movie, and I love John Carpenter. That's all there is to it.
Well, it's like I bring up he's not there in Big Trouble in Little China. I
can't stand that movie.
I don't get that, man.
I will get up if that movie. Sometimes how movies just come on while you're doing stuff. And channels of movies. I will get up. I don't care what I'm doing. I will get up and I will. There's a set of movies that I will stop what I'm doing. I don't care if I'm on the stream. I don't care if I'm on the phone. I don't care if I'm on the toilet. I don't care where I'm at. I will stop whatever the hell I'm doing and get up and turn that fucking stupid movie off. Doesn't matter. Even if I'm in somebody's house. If I'm a guest, you know what? Can you turn that off, please? Oh, wait. Let me do it for you. There's like about 5 or 10 movies that are absolute movies that I'm like, especially if they're by directors that I like and for different reasons, and they made some bullshit. Yeah, that Big Trouble in Little China is like literally near the top of the list of movies.
I don't get. I mean, I don't get that because it's not enough by any means for me to say it's like, oh, because that's one of my favorites of John Carpenter's filmography. But it's like I'm not.
It's one I cannot believe.
I'm not going to say William is a lesser John Carpenter fan than I am because
the man who made that Drek.
Made Halloween, made that. They Live, made...
Yeah, and I cannot believe it. I'm like, you did this? And everybody has a bad day at the office. Listen, I don't hate John Carpenter because he made his shit movie. I just don't watch the movie anymore. It's really easy for me.
We were reading off a few weeks ago. We were reading off Ridley Scott's filmography.
Oh, yeah. Ridley Scott's got some filmography that just makes me cry sometimes. I'm like, because what movie didn't get made because you made this?
I'm going to pull that up again. Actually, I'm going to read a little bit off it again. I mean, this might be a little bit repetitive, but it just bears repeating for the point we're making. Because I mean, like The Duelists, that was his first movie. I think you said you weren't a fan of that.
What fan of what?
The Duelists.
No.
Yeah, like Alien, Blade Runner. What else? Like a Gladiator, Prometheus, Alien Covenant. We're thinking probably Gladiator too. Like those are they usually call those like his Hall of Fame run probably.
Yeah, but there are some movies out there I'm like
Exodus, Gods and I think that might be his worst movie for me.
Horrible movie. That was horrible. But like I said, to me, that's the kind of level of Big Trouble in Little China is for me when it comes to John Carpenter. It's that level of dismissal that I'm like, listen, I can forgive you for that because of the body of work that you've given me. John Carpenter's given me enough to where shitty movies like that can be like, fine. I don't have to regard. I never bring up Big Trouble in Little China. I never bring it up because I have zero regard for the movie. But I bring up Halloween all the time. I bring up the Thing all the time. I bring up They Live all the time. I mean, nobody's 100%. Yeah, there's nobody's 100%. Nobody's 100%. Yeah, Spielberg has some movies, and I'm like, ooh, you did that?
Yeah, but I'm looking at his right now too, because he's got ones I don't like, and he's like one of the most heralded filmmakers of all time.
Yeah, and people, like I said, I know a lot of people love that particular movie, but I just don't.
Well, like Spielberg, I mean, because he, especially in recent years, he's kind of he kind of oscillates between like stuff that's like like dramas and like kind of like more popcorn movies, and it's like with Spielberg, it's like I mean he's I mean people regard him with Jaws as being kind of like the guy who sort of kickstarted the summer movie season, if you know it. So it's like with Spielberg, with him, it's like I'm definitely much more enamored with the popcorn stuff. Not to say he's like dramas or biopics have not been good at all for me, but
somebody's smoking a lot of weed and it's coming through my air filters.
Really? But like
anyway, yeah, it's outside and it's just getting sucked in. Don't tell me you hate the other John Carpenter movies. Right? No, the only John Carpenter movie I truly just have no use for is that one. There are other movies I don't like as much as others that I don't watch a lot of time. Escape from New York is not something I watch on a regular basis. I'm not a big fan of that movie. Vampires, I don't think is any good. But I don't have the absolute disdain for it like I do with that Big Trouble in Little China. I just think it's a stupid movie and it's not worthy of John Carpenter. But hey, everybody's different. Everybody's different.
Like Spielberg. I mean, probably my favorites of his whole filmography are the Indiana Jones series, because I mean Indiana Jones I screw up with, and then it's like things like Jaws and Jurassic
Indiana
Park.
Jones movies, Jurassic Park.
Hook. I will defend to my dying day. That's the definitive Peter Pan movie for me.
Those movies I just didn't really. He was not aiming for me. Schindler's List is Saving Private Ryan.
The Post bored me to tears. I you know
it was supposed. It's a boring topic. It's supposed to.
Yeah.
But there's different levels of Steven Spielberg. Like I said, Schindler's List, Saving Private Ryan. These are things that are, and then there's some other things that he's done. Like I said, Hook wasn't made for me, so I don't have a connection.
One of his kind of most I think overlooked is Duel, like his first like proper movie, Duel, where with the truck chasing the guy through the desert. That is like that I love Duel, and it's really spine tingling. Duel is awesome. And I really enjoyed Ready Player One a few years ago too.
Ready Player One was great. No, I mean not for me. It's almost unrecognizable to me as a John Carpenter movie.
Oh, Aaron says I could watch Baz Luhrmann when he directs. I wonder what. Yeah, that would be interesting. That'd be interesting what he's doing. I know at one point he was going to do a remake of Kung Fu at one point, and that's he's not with that now. That's now being helmed by David Leitch and Donnie Yen's attached to that. But yeah, that would be interesting to see him doing like a superhero movie or a horror movie or a martial arts film. I haven't seen like too much of his because he's known for musicals. I haven't actually seen too much of I don't think I've seen Les Miserables to this day.
I won't.
Yeah, it's not my thing. Yeah, musicals. It's like I'm so on musicals. I did like The Greatest Showman. Even that's not him, but
I got Greatest Showman. I went to go see that because he did a promotion for it, and I got 20 minutes into it.
In fact, who was the guy who did Cats? Tom Hooper. Okay, so
I gave that no time.
Yeah. Well, I don't
Greatest
even
Showman. I went. Yeah,
I don't even hate it. It's just real like it's real like what the fuck am I watching kind of movie.
That's how I felt about Greatest Showman. I know a lot of people love that movie. It's just that movie is William repellent. It's just no. I know one lady who saw it 25 times.
Who saw the Cats?
No, I don't know anybody who ever saw that movie. Greatest Showman. I know a lot of people who saw that movie so many times and just fell in love with it and the character development. And like I said, I guess there's a lot to love about it. At 21 minutes,
I liked it.
I had to get out of the theater. So
I liked that a lot actually because
it's human interest. I don't even know why I was there. I think I was promoting and getting a poster, but if it's human interest, I don't give a fuck.
Did you catch this in Deadpool Wolverine? It's the part when they're having the fight scene in the car, and he slams Deadpool's head into the radio, and then some of the soundtrack Greatest Showman comes up.
There's a Greatest Showman Deadpool in there.
Yeah, but like during that part specifically, it's like once that came out, it's like, oh, I immediately recognize that.
So. Gary Correa likes Steven Spielberg's Close Encounters. How you doing, Gary?
Thinking like what other analogy could I give? I think I've made clear I'm a massive John Wick fan. Chad Stahelski. I mean that man has like I'm as big a fan of him as any filmmaker I'm following today. It's like, but if he does a rom-com, it's like that might not pique my interest too much because it's like I like when you're doing the gun fu and the martial arts and having all the my action guys in a big ensemble and just kicking ass. It's like that's what drew me to his body. That's not saying he would be incapable of doing a good rom-com if he decided to do that, but
no, these guys they can cross genres. They all can. Like I said, the biggest example I give to you is all the time is Jonathan Demme, Married to the Mob, and then he goes on to do Silence of the Lambs. They can cross genres. It doesn't mean I got to cross with them.
Yes, exactly.
You can go do whatever you want, and you're gonna gain an audience of some people who will love it, and I'm like, and then that's great, man. I'm glad you guys did love it.
Have you ever done that though, where you have like where they've crossed genres and you followed suit, where it's where like what you're saying about like if Ridley Scott did a rom-com, you wouldn't follow. But have you ever done that with anybody where you said it's like, okay, I'm not this is not their body of work that I was enamored with, but I
Denis Villeneuve with Sicario, because I'm not into that. I'm not an action movie type of guy unless there's science fiction, horror, or fantasy involved.
Yeah,
I went and saw that because I went and latched onto that because of him, and there were still elements in his movie making that were still apparent, even though it didn't have all the hallmarks of the stuff. I hold it in a lower category, on a lower level than The Arrival and Dune and Blade Runner 2049 and Dune Prophecy. It's just that there are elements of those films that are brought out better by him and that bring out the best in him that other movies just do not, you know.
I think that's very important. The way you put it is like you bring out the best in him as a storyteller, because that's everybody's going to feel differently about when you're working in this framework or in this genre. This is where your talent, shines the most. And for like for Zack Snyder, some people might think that's superheroes, some people might think that's zombies, some people think that's sci-fi, some people might think that's UFC.
You could believe, I mean, that's an opinion. I thought Sicario was fun. It's a fine movie. But Dune is Denis Villeneuve. That's the kind of movie I want to see him make.
I think like who's another example I was gonna give wasn't Chad Stahelski. Damn it, you made me lose my train of thought, everybody in the chat.
That's on you, man.
Yeah, gotcha. No, I love Hook. I love Hook, man.
I'm not a, like I said, it's like you giving me a kids show and saying, "Hey, William, watch this." It was aimed for kids, and and then it has some deep elements in there. But
here's the example I was going to give. The Raid. Everybody knows I'm the Raid fan here around here. The director Gareth Evans. I mean, as far because he's that really kind of that and Marintow, really established, but much more so the Raid really established for a lot of people what you associate with him as a filmmaker. And he's gonna, he was intended to bring a lot of that to the Deathstroke movie. He was slated to do, which I still would love to see that. If he says, if we get news that he's gonna do, Dumb and Dumber 4, it's like that's I mean, as much a fan as I am of the original, it's like yeah, Gareth, this ain't really your wheelhouse, in my opinion. So I don't know if I'm on board with this. It's like I want to see some Indonesian, guys, doing salat and shit like that. Or, but again, it's like, I mean, could anybody?
I don't care who the director is.
Could anybody question? Could anybody around here question that I'm a Gareth Evans fan with how much I've talked about how much I love the Raid movies?
Yeah, Denis Villeneuve did. Like the Ace Ventura movie, that's probably where I draw the line.
Well, and you have that too. I mean, this is kind of moving outside of directors, but also performers. I mean, you've made that clear. You have that with a Jim Carrey, where it's like, and that's really with what you said of like where you think his strengths really lie. I mean, that really kind of eliminates probably like 90% of his filmography from you.
And like I said, it's tragic that that's where a good portion of his career. Yeah, he made the money, he cashed the checks, but as an audience member, as a consumer, as somebody who does think there was brilliance there, there's, in my opinion, and as everybody's going to be subjective, there's no brilliance in any of the Ace Ventura. There's not 1 second of brilliance.
Oh, I love them, but I'm not going to call them brilliant.
Yeah, there's to me, when I watch when I look, because I don't watch Ace Ventura anymore. When I see Ace Ventura and I see the buffoonery movies, I see just a waste. I see a waste of a guy who I think could have been a Robin Williams. I think he could have expanded on all of that. I think he could have been a top tier dramatic actor, and he just never got the chance to be because of the order of what his movies came in. The buffoonery came first, and that's all people saw and wanted. And it's kind of sad.
And I mean, it's like, I mean, because he is talking about retiring. Obviously, we're going to see him again in Sonic 3. And I mean, I wouldn't mind, seeing as like the, kind of concluding act of his career. If he said, okay, the next thing I do is going to be, this is it, then I'm retiring. If he wanted to make something more in the vein of like Truman Show or Eternal Sunshine, it's like, this is going to be a comedy. This is going to be, more of a character study. It's like, yeah, go for it, man. It's like, I mean, he's done enough of that now in his career. It's like, I think he's hilarious when he's doing comedy, but it's like, you really excel in this side of it too. So if he said, yeah, this is like intended to be the capstone of it, it's like, I'd say, yeah, go for it. What
if you had done an Eternal Sunshine type movie instead of fucking Cable Man? One of the truly, truly dumbest fucking movies I've ever laid my eyeballs on. Imagine if he'd have done more Truman Show instead of Nature Calls, which should have, just, that's the tragedy of it, because it's there. And it's just, every time I see those movies, I see a wasted Jim Carrey.
What do you think? Well, okay. Since we're talking about him, what do you think, like, of the buffoonery Jim Carrey movies? What is the one you don't like the most?
All of them.
All of them. So you don't have like one that like really like rises even.
They get progressively worse. They get the more I think about them, the angrier I get, because I'm like, Dumb and Dumber, dude. You could have been playing Joel 6 or 7 years earlier and making yourself into an Academy Award level top tier dramatic actors, and you're running around with a stupid shit haircut. that's not funny in a movie that's not funny.
Oh,
And,
fourth.
yeah.
It's like I like the Cable Guy, but even I'm not going to go on board with this, man.
Yeah, I know you're trolling, so I'm not. I didn't even regard that, but no, I think he could have been one of those guys. He could have been one of those guys that's up there, that's in the 5 or 7 percentile, and in the buffoonery, stop that. The buffoonery put an end to that, and that's what makes all of his buffoonery movies less funny to me because of that.
So I bet you were really annoyed. Did you see like the memes? Leading into Deadpool and Wolverine that had him from Ace Ventura, with the white devil hair plugged onto Hugh Jackman's body, because those are kind of making the rounds. So that's kind of
and like I said, it just reminds me of what could have been, and what wasn't.
Yeah, but again, he's not a non Jim Carrey fan.
Yeah, I'm just not a fan of the buffoonery movies.
So, yes, I saw this Erin Ethel Kennedy, and she was she died almost as old as Jimmy Carter is now. Like she was 96.
No,
so that's
90. She's 4 years. Yeah, that's a long. Hey, when you reach 94 years, it's 1,000 years. So Jimmy Carter, you're there, man.
Yeah.
Stay alive till election day. There's nothing about Ace Ventura that makes me laugh.
No, I do like that spear scene. Makes me laugh, man. It's like, throw me a spear. Right in his.
Okay, just because he was a comedian first doesn't mean, like I said, Robin Williams was a comedian first.
Well, so, Robin Williams, like he, I think
managed his career better.
Well, because he did kind of more what you were saying, because he did a lot of comedies, but he also did a lot of stuff like Good Will Hunting, and he did a lot of things like
I don't think of Mork as much as I think of some of the stuff. Like I said, if you guys haven't seen Fisher King, his best movie by miles, you'll see what I'm saying. He took on that role in the early 90s. He took on roles like Good Morning Vietnam early, at points where Jim Carrey was sticking his head out of a rhino's ass. The point of his career, Robin Williams was doing Good Morning Vietnam. Robin Williams was doing Awakenings. Robin Williams was doing Fisher King. That's what I mean.
Sorry with the way you put that. I just can't not laugh.
The same greatness that was there for Robin Williams at that point in his career was there for Jim Carrey. But what did I get out of Jim Carrey? Dumb and Dumber. Anything Ace Ventura is a waste of time for me. When I know that guy, you only need to see a couple of his movies to know that, okay, there's brilliance there. There's serious brilliance there. And Man on the Moon, I mean, just wasn't enough. And I hope he's not retired. I hope he does come out and act more and do some roles of that ilk that really cements his career. Because I would hate for it, because I don't know the guy, obviously. I'm wondering, if I ever had a chance to ask him, is that what you want? Is that how you want to be remembered? Do you want to be remembered as a Rhino Head dude, or do you want to be remembered as a top tier guy who's spoken in different circles? Because these guys care about their legacy.
Well, and also like,
all right, stop trying to defend Ace Ventura. You are fighting a losing battle here. Please don't take up that.
Well, listen, guys, it's like I said, I like Ace Ventura, but even I'm not going to call them brilliant. I just think they're funny. I don't need to go any further than that. They just make me laugh. And and that's like the first one in particular. It's like there are elements of it that would definitely get torn apart today.
Yeah, he only comes out of things. He only comes out of retirement to play things I will never see. I have not watched 1 second of any Sonic movie, and guess how many seconds I have planned? You don't even need to hold up your fingers.
Actually, what was the last thing you saw of Jim Carrey's? Was it Eternal Sunshine?
Mm-hmm. I mean, because what has he done? Let's see what he's done since then.
He did something called Dark Crimes about 8 years ago. That's not a comedy. That's a crime drama. I don't know if that got like a big wide release.
But he's 62, so he still has time to come out and do some more movies.
I see. What's ironic about this, because Williams and I also, we talked about definitely liking Batman Forever. And of course, there's a story about that where Tom Lee Jones told him, I can't say your buffoonery. He was too crazy about Jim Carrey. But of course, he's playing the Riddler, so he's very animated performance. Obviously, we've seen like darker versions of the Riddler since, but I mean, the very animated, wacky Riddler, that's not out of context within the history of the Riddler as a character.
All right. 1992 Itsy Bitsy Spider, Ace Ventura Pet Detective, trash. The Mask, not The Mask, but it was something. Dumb and Dumber, one of the absolute worst.
I love that.
There's absolute just disaster fucks of a movie. Batman Forever, he was good in that. Ace Ventura When Nature Calls, trash. The Cable Guy, trash. Liar Liar, trash.
The greatest comedy ever made, Liar Liar.
Truman Show, great. Simon Birch, he was just the narrator in that. Man on the Moon, fucking epic. How the Grinch Stole Christmas, don't care either way. The Majestic, decent. Bruce Almighty, stupid.
I like that.
Pecan Pie, lame. Eternal Sunshine, his great, his best performance. The best thing he ever did on screen. Lemony Snicket's in front of Vincent. That wasn't for me anyway. Fun with Chicken James, stupid. Number 23 was okay.
I like number 23.
Horton, Here's a Cue, don't give a fuck. Yes Man, don't give a fuck. I Love You, Philip Morris. That was more of I don't even know what the hell that was. Christmas Carol was not good. Mr. Prodigy, just look at this.
I never saw that. I never saw Mr.
Kick Ass 2, he was decent, but that was an over the top movie. Anchorman 2, I would like literally. I would rather eat off of the toilet seat than give that 2 seconds. Dumb and Dumber 2. Dumb and Dumber 2. I might lose my voice if I try to regard just how stupid of concept that is.
And well, you notice too, by the way, at this point, this is when he started kind of slowing down as far as his output.
Yeah. Dark Crimes, Tadic, which you just mentioned. Sonic the Hedgehog 1 and 2. Once again, I have no opinion because I will never see those movies. Sonic the Hedgehog 3. I will if you combined the regard I have for the 2 previous ones, you have the exact amount of time I will give Sonic the Hedgehog 3.
And also, I think this is television, but so it's different format. But I mean, I do think it's noteworthy enough it bears mentioning. He in the middle of all that, he also has portrayal of Joe Biden on Saturday Night Live. Yeah, his stuff like that. That's cool. But okay, so we're looking at 1999, Man on the Moon. Man on the Moon, which is at that point for me, his second best performance after Truman Show. You followed up with Me, Myself, and fucking Irene. Yeah, that's what I mean. That's just and then after Me, Myself, right, How the Grinch Stole Christmas. I mean, you guys may like these movies, and I'm not saying there's not a market for these movies. Whether you like them or not, that's not my point. Give a fuck about whether you guys like them or not. Did they reach into Jim Carrey and pull out the best Jim Carrey, and even the one that he may have wanted to be but couldn't get because of all the buffoonery? Is there somewhere in Jim Carrey where he, like Robin Williams, wanted to do things like that he could be taken seriously as an actor? And I would love to interview the guy or see an interview because I've watched a lot of his interviews and they go all over the place. But I'm curious. I'm curious with all the goofology that is his filmology. I picked out some of the best movies I've ever seen on here, and unfortunately, like I said, in 1999 you could have followed that up with something better, and and then you have let's see, Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. That's followed up by Lemony Snicket. That's just, come on, dude. Yeah,
and like I said, Fun with Dick and Jane. See what I mean? You went from a movie where you, by the way, I will fight this to the death. He deserved to be at least nominated for that. For he is, as much as Kate Winslet carries that movie, he carries the other half, and he's fucking brilliant in that movie. But that same guy does some of the silliest shit that I've ever seen. And it's even more frustrating because you see that brilliance. You see that, and then you're like, okay, let's go do the stupid bowl cut. Make that. Come on, but hey, you know what? Hey,
Dee says film junkie got his antics from Jim Carrey.
Like I said, I'm not making fun of you if you like those movies. I'm just, to me, when I see something like that, and to, like I said, my closest comparison would be Robin Williams in a way. And it's just, Robin Williams just took his career in a drastically different place. And he was capable of all that, but he was capable of so much more. And you saw it. Jim Carrey, is capable of way more than he's put out. And I don't know if it's his choice or, like I said, in the 90s you had typecasting. If you made money with buffoonery, a lot of times the studios didn't want they didn't want to take the risk of putting you in something like an Eternal Sunshine or something like that, because they were afraid that that's not what your audiences wanted to see. But at some point, Robin Williams made a decision. Okay, I know my audience want to see some of this crazy shit that I've done my entire career, but what do I want? And I'm curious. And maybe I'm wrong. Maybe Jim Carrey says, you know what, buffoonery first. And then if that's the case, then great. I just think as somebody who is a fan of the movies that he did that were good, Truman Show, Eternal Sunshine, and what was a couple of other ones that I named?
Man in the Moon.
Man in the Moon is fucking great.
It's as far as like as a less comedically, and even that's because he's playing Andy Kaufman, so that's still somewhat of a comedy.
Yeah, but Andy Kaufman's story is not a comedy.
No,
he's
it's not.
Playing Andy's story. You know what? When I saw that movie, I felt, because I grew up with Andy Kaufman. I mean, he died earlier as I was a child. He died very young.
There are still people who think he's still alive.
Yeah, because that was a joke that he carried on.
Yeah.
But if you understood and watched all the biopics and stuff with Jerry the King Lawler and the way they spoke of Andy Kaufman, Jim Carrey makes you feel like you know who Andy Kaufman is. And when you're doing a biopic, that is one of the greatest things you can achieve. When he did that, I'm like, this guy can do anything. It just hasn't been asked of him. And when it was asked of him, he did great. He did great. And I'm like, but what is he known for? What is he known for? The stupid hair and various different stupid movies. Which is, I hope he's not done. At 62, I hope he's not done. Let's see. Robin Williams was always kind of mixing various comedy throughout his career. Carrey had been doing comedy exclusives. But once again, the fact that he actually, before Eternal Sunshine, because that was 2004, Man in the Moon came out 5 years earlier. He had it in him. No matter how much percentage of comedy that somebody does, he had that in him. He showed that in those movies. So, like I said, that's just me. Oh yeah, I miss Robin Williams as well.
Oh yeah, I did. I saw him perform live. So
Dumb and Dumber is depressing for me to watch when I did watch it, because, like I said, most of the stupid movies I ever watched happened on deployment and all these other times, or AT shit with the Army where I didn't have a choice. You had one TV and like 50 apps. Dumb and Dumber is depressing for me because it's like, what Eternal Sunshine or what Truman Show level movie was not being made while you made that fucking trash? You know? And you could say that about any actor anywhere. You could say that about somebody who does 99, but it doesn't matter. Every storyteller, whether they're a director or an actor, has different levels that they can go to. That's his identity because that's all he did. He could have, changed. There's plenty of comedians. Bill Murray has done nothing but comedy, but he was nominated for Academy Award, one of the best roles he ever did in Lost in Translation. Comedy is his identity too. Yet he took on roles like that. There are plenty of people who are genre people who take on other roles and can do serious stuff. Adam Sandler's another one. Adam Sandler, primarily Little Nicky. The same guy who did Cut Gems did Little Nicky. Pete Davidson's primary comedy, but he's done several roles that shown. I mean, it's a decision. And I don't know if he was ever given a chance to show that he, that wasn't exclusively his signature. Did that have to be his signature? I don't know. Yeah. I mean, I agree. The super chat, did we all get it?
yeah, I did.
Okay. No, yeah, and that's right. You're saying the best that's a magician, but yeah, I mean, I guess you're talking to somebody else, but yeah. Yeah, no, I didn't forget. Yeah, I'm going back and saying, yeah, I'm just, like I said, I just think it's tragic, and I hope he comes out and gets cast in a role where he is like all the best things that he can be, and he gets Okay, Fourth is still saying it's just a super chat. Oh,
Were you talking
you
about
missed
this
it.
one?
There you go. I got it.
Avatar: Some of These Franks.
We can. That's not a very long movie at all. Just remind me. That's a really short movie, and it's
Yeah,
from the public domain.
An hour
I
and
think-
10 minutes. Yeah.
Yeah.
On that note, I don't know if this might
Yeah.
be.
Let's go ahead and wrap it up because I'm tired and I'm hungry.
Yeah.
And the Dodgers better not fucking lose today. Completely off topic. Sorry. Dodgers better not. Listen, fuck the Padres. Some of the silly shit you guys did the other night, throwing that ball at Dave Roberts. I saw you, Manny Machado. I wish you were this excited in 2018 when you were on our team in the World Series and you disappeared. Hugh Darvish tomorrow, do or die game at Dodger Stadium. Last time I saw you had a do or die game at Dodger Stadium, you gave up 5 runs in the first inning and we never recovered. So I hope you do that same thing tomorrow. And then it's on to the Mets, hopefully. So just wanted to throw that out there. All right, guys. Tomorrow, I do not know my schedule. I probably, if I got to go pick up some more comics. I will be busy throughout the day, so I will probably not do anything throughout the day. I might not even be on Baka stream if not for that very long, because I'm probably going to go see Terrifier, so I can come back, and do that. So because I promised you guys I would do it, so I do want to. If I don't do it tomorrow, it won't get done because Saturday is loaded.
Yep.
So and Sunday I just don't go to the movies on Sundays. Because plus I got a wrestling pay-per-view to watch. Man,
That's true, yeah.
All right, guys. Like, subscribe, spread the word. Just remember, these are all opinions. I know there's going to be a lot of Jim. Dude, I get messages from, I can't believe you don't like Ace Ventura. Fucking believe it. I hate that movie. Believe it like you believe in oxygen. Believe like you believe in that the earth is not flat. Believe like you believe in the sun is going to come up. Believe that I hate that movie with a passion that makes my eyes want to shoot out of my head.
Believe that William hates it as much as I hate Scary Movie.
And put Dumb and Dumber on there. Put just a concept. I wish I had a time machine where I could pop in and say, Jim Carrey, stop. I know what you're thinking. I know you just get in this TARDIS. I'm going to take you somewhere where this is all changed. I could just do the Deadpool where he visits himself and he just does all those things. That's where I would do. And while he's giving himself the bowl cut, I'm like, put the scissors down. Let's go. Get in the machine. Let's go. So now, yes, believe I hate that movie. Believe it, because it is, and its successor, and all the Dumb and Dumber movies. Liar. Some of the believe it. Stop messaging me. Stop tagging me. Oh, maybe you should give it another chance. No. I would rather dine out of a dumpster than give any of those movies another second of my life. Okay, so no, I will save you the time. Don't message me. If you're local, don't come in trying to convert me. Don't. All right,
can we clip this out as like making Williams like Ace Ventura rant?
It's a Jim Carrey tragic rant. I believe in Jim Carrey. I believe he is a much, much better actor than the stuff that represents him. I'm mad because I think I think there's brilliance there. And at 62, I hope you get more. Please come out of retirement, and not for fucking video game movies, dude. Come out of retirement to do some high level shit. You know what? You want to do a rom-com? I'm not into rom-coms, Jim. I'm not into rom-coms. Can't you do a top tier movie that brings out a dimensions in you? Guess what? I'll go see it. I may have to hold down the vomit from my esophagus, but if you're going to do roles like that, I'm not going to be here. I'm going to support you. If you're going to do non-buffoonery, I will support you, even if it means going into a genre that I'm not that big into. I hope you get to drama. I hope you get to maybe some high art sci-fi stuff like that, even if it's on. I don't care where it is, but I really think that there's brilliance in it, and it's just sad that and he's still young enough to write the show. But hey,
well.
Oh, Ruth, come on, Ruth. This is.
We'll share we'll share our thoughts on Terrifier 3 in due course here. Remember, art is straw spelled backwards.
And Bill and Ted. I don't even know. Liar. No. See, I'm. Can I time him out? He's a mod. Okay.
You got to end it, man. They're gonna die on the film.
Fine. You guys, listen. You Jim Carrey defenders, you can defend him, love him, and I'm not gonna. I think no less of you for it. Don't come at me with this, man. All right, guys. I will see you at some point tomorrow. More than likely, with the first time you see me will be a review of Terrifier. If I get it, I hope I get a chance to see it. Because if I don't get to see it tomorrow, it's really loaded. But I'm going to try to make time to see it. And so I will do. Brad, if you can not forget this time and do an out of theater review of Terrifier, so we can post them both. We'll post them to see how close we come to it.
Man.
I think it's going to be an absolute shit storm because I think the two previous one was. I heard somebody tell me, "Hey, this is the best of the three." Well, that's like telling me that the Oscar Mayer hot dogs are better than the Sam's Choice hot dogs. They're both nasty, so I don't. That's not really a choice for me. But I'm going to give it a shot. I'm going to try to have some fun with it. And I'll have some fun with the review. Until then, I will see you guys tomorrow night.
Man. Art, which is try.
We got to do better than this. I got to sit down and rethink this whole YouTube thing. I'll see you guys tomorrow.